What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I'm Recklezz. Y'all seeing the title is going down. Make sure y'all check out Doug and Exile. His video, as well as his channel is in the description box down below. Definitely have to check this video out. Y'all can already see that not looking good. Let's get a video.
New documents, including Sidney Powell's supposed apology to the people of Georgia and Fani Willis, was released, and we'll show you the actual document, which is hilarious. It proves that Fani Willis got nothing, and Sidney Powell
not literally,
is
but
still on fire. She's still on the team. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where all the happy patriots are. This is from MSNBC. To Sidney Powell, a half apology was just the cost of doing business. Now, this article is from MSNBC. I always like getting my material from the left, because then it's not a bunch of rah. I don't know if I can trust it if you're just telling me what I want to.
See, and that's the thing, though. So I actually like that. I actually noticed that, with seeing Doug's videos and stuff like that. But I see that it's very important. It's very important to obviously do your research, get research from the left or the right, or just the ones. It's good to just do research in general. It's good to do research in general. But it's very smart to to get that research, so it's just not looking like we over here tight.
Want to hear. MSNBC is never trying to tell me what I want to hear. Nothing says I'm really sorry like one sentence scrawled on a piece of lined notebook paper, but Fani Willis knew what she was getting. They keep trying to give her an out by saying she knew no, she didn't know this is what she was getting. Last week, Sidney Powell and Kenneth Cheseborough's letters of apology to the citizens of Georgia were released pursuant to a public record request. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis had insisted, as part of their plea bargains, that defendants Powell and Cheseborough submit those written apologies to the court. Now, the public has gotten its first look at what contrition looks like when uttered by a criminal defendant who is being allowed to plead guilty to lesser charges and no prison time. That's one way of putting it. This is what you get when you use the RICO charges against Sidney Powell and Cheseborough and use them as an extortion. This is like Kim Jong-il, where the people have to apologize and fake cry tears to get the government to believe that they really, really mean it. It's a display of fake emotion. I apologize to the citizens of the state of Georgia and of Fulton County for my involvement in count 15 of the indictment, wrote Cheseborough the next day. So that's all they got out of Cheseborough for his apology. But look, wait till you see how this is written. Look at this. He scrawled it on a piece of paper, handwritten. It looks like it's written by a 4-year-old in crayon. This is a huge slap in the face to the court. It shows that Cheseborough gave them as little as possible and very reluctantly. And then here's Sidney Powell's. I apologize for my actions in connection with the events in Coffee County. It's even shorter. Powell wrote on October 19th, the same day she pleaded guilty. Let's look at her handwritten note. This is a huge slap in the face to Fani Willis. Look at this. One sentence. Legally, they have to check the box. This is technically a legal apology.
That's an apology.
And the court can't go after you for not being emotional enough because she didn't cry a bunch of tears. Nothing says, quote, I'm really not sorry, like one sentence scrawled on a piece of lined notebook paper, which is exactly what Powell and Cheseborough submitted. To say the apologies do not seem heartfelt is an understatement. They more closely resemble a child dragged by the ear to apologize to a teacher on the receiving end of a pea shooter. MSNBC is starting to figure out. They're going, hey, this doesn't feel like a deep-throated, sorrowful apology. Yeah, no kidding. That's because you extorted her. That's because you manipulated her and basically said you will throw you in jail and we will fine you and ruin you for life unless you give us an apology and a statement. And I think this is the heartbeat of America, still alive and beating in Cheseborough and in Sidney Powell. This is what you get, Fani Willis, and I hope this is so flaccid of an apology, so such thin gruel that you can't eat it. She can't live on those calories, and we know Fani Willis needs some calories. Powell's non-apology apology was especially notable given the other indications of her lack of authentic remorse. In the days after her guilty plea, Powell's organization, quote, Defending the Republic, which she founded and serves for as president, promoted articles through its Substack newsletter that characterized her guilty plea as extorted, because it was extorted, and obtained under pressure, because it was obtained under pressure. No duh. Thanks for figuring this out, MSNBC. What we all knew about 15 seconds into the indictment. All four were allowed to plead guilty under Georgia's first offender law, which will enable them to have their criminal records wiped clean if they successfully complete their probationary terms. That's a more generous deal than most defendants who plead guilty get. Even those who agree to cooperate with the government and testify against their co-defendants. So even Sidney Powell and Chesborough got a better sweetheart deal than most people get. Why? Because this is always about politics. This is only about manipulating information out of them. You get what you deserve on this one, Fani. What did you expect? And now Sidney Powell is scot-free if this holds. Quote, the contrition doesn't have to be some poetic melody. It doesn't have to be pages and pages, Willis told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Again, you got to look at Sidney Powell's actual confession. Yeah, it's not poetic or pages and pages. Sometimes you just need an I'm sorry. Well, you got one. If you get I'm sorry, then we can move on and move past it if it's a sincere apology. I don't know how the government determines sincerity. I mean, I have something to say about Fani Willis's sincerity. But with respect to Powell's and Chesborough's contrition, Willis got exactly what she bargained for. Half-hearted, limp apologies from two attorney defendants who knew that this is simply a legal transaction, nothing more and nothing less, with the little MSNBC
I don't know what she
logo to
expecting
sting it at the end. So glad you guys realized you got rocked, you got suckered, you got rolled. This is great news for Sidney Powell. The Kraken remains alive. I'm Doug in.
Y'all see it. Y'all definitely see it. I had to check this video out though. That was definitely but it's real though. You know, even though she sent that little bit of an apology, I mean, hey, you know, it is what it is. And that's all she had to send in. So I mean, I don't know what else, you know, she'd expect. Honestly, Fani Willis, you know, is like I said before, especially in the last video. If you haven't checked that video, make sure y'all check that video out. That it's looking bad, you know, and it's been looking bad, but it's looking bad right now. It's not looking good. I forgot actually that she was over the Young Thug case. It's just a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Like I said, we gonna see once everything folds down for the election, and we gonna see. I was just talking to my girl about it, and I told her, I was like, man, I my main thing, what I want to see is when he end up winning. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When he end up winning, I want to see everybody's reactions. I want to see everybody's reaction. Everybody that want to get, I want to see everybody's reaction. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Catch y'all next one.